Okay. Let's angle this a little bit better. We're gonna see who joins us for this full moon ritual. See if I have to turn anyone into a toad. Let's see. Do this. Okay. Hello. I am gonna start by clearing the space. Welcome on this full moon. It is an egg moon. It is also called the pink moon. It is a super moon and it is in Libra. So, as we're waiting for people to join us, I'm going to start by clearing the space with some Palo Santo. Clearing the space of all low densities, low vibrations, anything and everything that is not in service of the highest and best good. Clearing ourselves, sending you this healing smoke to cleanse and clear you of all that is not in service of the highest and best good. And then, because we're in the middle of a pandemic, we are going to do a double round of clearing with some white sage. Calling upon the great spirit of the white sage to cleanse and clear us of all that is not in service of the highest and best good. Clearing our feet. All right, so welcome everyone. I am Aria. I am an intuitive and energy healer and a priestess, and I am here to lead you guys through a clearing and a rejuvenating full moon ritual. Today the full moon is in Libra. It is a super moon, which means it is one of the larger moons. It is closer to the earth, so it will be more readily visible. And we're probably not going to see it here in LA because it is pouring rain right now, but it is out there and the energies of the moon can still be felt, especially for those of us that are more attuned and more sensitive to the energies of the cosmos. So, in this space, I am clearing the space of anything and everything that is not in service of the highest and best good, opening a sacred circle. And I'm going to start by calling in the guardians of the directions, starting with the east, calling in the guardians of the eastern gateway, element of air, place of new beginnings, place of springtime, place of where our earth is at this point in time, welcoming the guardians of the east, calling in the guardians of the southern gateway, element of fire, element of transformation, transmutation, place of the serpent, of the dragon energy, of the energies that cleanse, clear, and transmute through fire, welcoming the guardians of the south, calling in the guardians of the western gateway, element of water, thanking the waters for their cleansing, their purification, their rejuvenation, and the emotional healing that happens in the west, welcoming the guardians of the west. Calling in the guardians of the north, element of earth, grandfather medicine, the place of our ancestors, place of the bones, the place that anchors and stabilizes us, place of winter, place of the slow-moving animals like the bear and the elk, welcoming the guardians of the north. Calling in the guardians of the upper realm, the Akash, the angelic gateway, welcoming the guardians of the upper realm. Calling in the guardians of the middle realm, this earthly realm, Pachamama. Mother Earth, anchoring us in the here and now. Calling in the guardians of the underworld, the caverns, the crystal kingdom, the ley lines, the vortices all over the earth. thanking and calling in the guardians of the underworld. And at this time, we give thanks to the ancestors of the land that I am currently on in this area of Los Angeles' Tongva land, thanking the ancestors of the land and welcoming them to the sacred circle, and calling in our spirit guides, angels, archangels, beings of the highest frequencies of unconditional love, light, and healing, our ancestors in healed space, calling them to attend upon us. And in this space, envisioning a golden white ball of light in your right hand and allowing it to extend across the world, encompassing this earth and coming back to your left and circling us in the safety of this circle on this full moon evening. And now that we are anchored in this space, so I'm going to speak a little bit about this full moon. This full moon is in Libra. Libra is the sign that seeks harmony, seeks relation, seeks balance. It is about the relationships not only within ourselves, but our relationships with other people, and about coming to an equilibrium and an alignment point where we are in integrity, not only with ourselves, but with our environment and with those around us. So it is a good time on this full moon to reevaluate, to see where we need to make alignments and changes, and where we need to, especially given that this is a super moon, this is a very powerful moon, this is a time to release, and it's also springtime. So this is definitely a very good time, and there goes my husky. This is a good time. Hi, puppy. Hi, baby. Sorry. This is a good time to release the last remnants of what we're holding on to that is not in service of what we're looking to achieve. This is the time for spring, for new beginning. Most animals in nature are pregnant with life. The earth itself is pregnant with new life that is coming forward this season. So this is the time to really anchor ourselves in the grounding and safety of the earth and in what we are calling in. So the energies for tonight are about partnership. The energies for tonight are about balance, about harmony, about creating beauty and creating alignment. So I am going to share with you a little ritual I like to do to release things that are not in service. And one of the things I like to do is burn. I love fire. So it is one of my favorite things to do. So I'm inviting you to take this time to think about what it is that you want to release. And right now we are in quarantine. A lot of us have a lot of anxiety, fear, just uncertainty about the future, about where we are right now, where we're going to be once this quarantine is over. And some of us may be thinking that, okay, well, we're just going to go back to normal. However, there really was no normalcy in the beginning before this even started. So now is really the time to anchor in and create a new vision for our lives and a new vision for what we want to experience in our world. So, yes, Husky, you're just patting all over. Come here, come. You want to say hello? Come here, come here. Well, you gotta come here. All right, so you guys have to see what I'm working with here. The Husky's going away. All right, so since she wanted to come and say hello, I had to try to share my ginger beauty. So, okay. So as I was saying, it is the perfect time to release what is not in service of our highest and best good. And the way I like to do this is I like to write it out on a piece of paper. And I like to say, okay, so I am releasing fear. I am releasing limiting beliefs I have around my ability to create abundance. I am releasing anxiety. I am releasing feelings of illness or feelings of discomfort in my body. I am releasing pretty much whatever you want. You can also be releasing, now is a good time to be releasing ancestral patterns. So if you notice that in your family, there's always a story of lack, a story of poverty, a story of struggling financially, this would be a good time to set the intention to release all karmic cords to poverty, all karmic cords to lack, and to feeling like you're not grounded and stable and able to be financially free. Also, if you see a history in your family of, what is that? Sorry about that. If you see a history in your family of unhappy relationships, disharmonious relationships, toxic relationships, because it's a Libra full moon and Libra is all about partnership, it is an excellent time to release any attachments you may have to toxic relationship patterns, limiting beliefs around your ability to create harmonious partnership. So I am going to write down a couple things that I'm going to release, and I invite you to take these few moments to do the same. And it's always best to do this on a clean piece of paper. And then we just write out what we want. So let's see what I'm releasing today. I am releasing fear and anxiety around the future. I am releasing any vows of poverty I may have taken in any and all lifetimes. So if you're releasing a vow of poverty, many of us have lived many lifetimes. So you may have been a monk or a religious person, and then in those circumstances you would have basically renounced worldly goods. You would have renounced your lands, your ability to create a living. And sometimes those vows that we made in past lifetimes affect this one. So I'm releasing vows of poverty. And I am releasing limiting beliefs, yes, around my ability to create abundance and stability. So you can write them out in one piece of paper, or you can write them out in different pieces of paper. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna burn it. So make sure you have a fire-safe container. And then all you really need is some fire. So there are other ways to release. You can release into water, you can release into salt, and then take it to the ocean and dump it in the ocean. But just make sure that the paper that you're using and the ink is biodegradable, because you don't want to pollute Mother Earth. So now we're gonna burn, baby burn. Okay. Great Spirit, this is Aria, Rainbow Water Pearl. I ask that you allow me and support me in releasing my fear and anxiety around the future, vows of poverty across all timelines and lifetimes, and limiting beliefs around my ability to create abundance and stability. I also like to ask my guides to release anything that I may not be aware of that I need to release, and just give them permission on my behalf to release everything that is holding me back and that is not in service of my highest and best good and the evolution of my soul. So, Great Spirit, I give you permission to release all that is not in service of my highest and best good on my behalf for the evolution of my soul. And for the highest and best good of all. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so my nose started itching, so that's a good sign. So you can do this over like a fire and or you can allow it to burn Sometimes I like to do this in smaller pieces of paper because it burns a little bit easier and quicker. But then I would have a really, really big fire to show you guys, and then, haha, big fire. Big fire. And just allow it to burn as it's still burning. I always like to help it along because I like fire. And just make sure that all of the bits of paper are burned, and then when you're done burning the bits of paper, I invite you to bury this in either a pot of earth in the eastern part of your garden or your patio, or if you find just a patch of grass somewhere in the east, you can bury it there. Just to send it back to the earth so the earth can work her magic and transmute these energies on your behalf. So, ooh, what are you burning here? Oh. I love it when my tin just finds new things to burn. Okay, well, burn if you must. So, like I said, feel free to bury this in the eastern part of your garden, in the earth, to allow the earth to work her magic and transmute whatever energies need to be released, or in a pot in the eastern area of your patio or garden. So that is our full moon ritual, and I invite you to just feel the energies of the evening, feel whatever emotions are coming up. This is usually a very emotional time for us. The full moon just heightens awareness, heightens emotion, heightens intuition. So really allow yourself to feel whatever is coming up, and allow yourself to release what is not in service of your highest and best good. And really, it's also a very good time to give gratitude and give thanks for all of the things that we have: the roof over our head, the food in our refrigerators, the ability that we have to take a moment and rest, our friends, our family, our health, our well-being. You know, now is really the time to give thanks for what we want to continue to experience in our life. So, thank you for joining me on this full moon. I will see you next time. Namaste.